Hey,
Shalom, shalom. It's the brother Mawasar,
Shalom, Mr. Brother Shamawa all.
right? And today, as you see in the title, we're going into the fall of America. And I don't know if y'all can see, but in the background, hey, we're gonna talk about it, man. In the background of the video, we got another reason for America to fall. They didn't swiped our background. You know what I'm saying? We got the saucy, all praise to the most high, the saucy background, man. And they done took the background, so we got the all black right now. Right? But that's perfect for the situation we're going into, and it's vexing brothers just enough that we're gonna go in through the spirit on this video, right? What you got to show my wall.
Come on, man. Yeah, like brother said, man. Damn. Like death to Babylon, man. Right. But Shalom, Akim and Akiwath, Lord willing you enduring, right? All praise to the Most High for another day. Right. So as you see the title, we going to the fall of America. Right. We gonna head into Isaiah chapter 19. Right. We're gonna head into Isaiah chapter 19. And Isaiah chapter 19 is going into Yahushua coming back in the fall of America. I mean, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua plays a part, not a part. He is the part of the reason why America is falling, right? And as you see today is going on, the famine, right? Um, man, wars going on, right? So we're gonna jump into that through the spirit, right? Let's get this real quick. Matter of fact, right? We're gonna kick it off with Isaiah, right? Chapter 19 and verse 1, right? It says, the burden of Egypt, right? And we all know that America is spiritual Egypt, right? We in a house of bondage right now, right? Let's get that. Revelations 11, real quick, right? The burden of Egypt, man. This is the burden of America, man. Right? Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8. It reads, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. Right? And we know spiritually it's called Egypt because of the bondage, the slavery, the pyramid on a dollar bill. We know it's spiritually called Sodom because the homosexuality, the same sex marriages, things being put out there. Um, it's not secretly, it's out in the open. All over social media, is all over the world, it's all over pictures, however you name it, and they put it out there, right? So Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1, it says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the earth and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Right? And this has not happened yet. But this is speaking about Yahweh Shai coming back. Hey, this is the father of America, man. And these elites know that our Lord is coming back. This is why they trying to prepare and create big bombs and also deceive people to make it seem like he's already here. And you got Jake doing that as well, which that's prophecy, right? Let's get that. Matthew chapter 24, right? Matthew chapter 24. Right? This is the book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse, let me see. Matthew 24 and verse 23. It reads, then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is a Mashiach, O there, believe it not, right? For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. So the Lord is saying himself, hey, if they say a Mashiach is here, he's not here. Let's see his grand interest. We hear about his grand interest, right? Let's hear about it out of his mouth, right? Verse 27, right? Verse 26, Salakia. No, let's read verse 25, Salaka. Behold, I have told you before, right? I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Right? And the Lord is telling you, hey, don't be deceived when they say these things. They're going to continue to bug you about he's here, he's there, he's over here. Or here you go. I'm pretty sure, like what, maybe last year or something, they're gonna do like holograms. You know, holograms that basically a Mashak is cracking the sky, which is evil. But that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna try to do it. But the Lord is telling you, hey, don't believe it, man. He told you twice. He repeated himself, and he's telling you how he's gonna come. Everybody is gonna see him. It's not just gonna be one person seeing him and and you got to tell everybody. No, everybody's going to see the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, right? This Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7, right? It reads, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, right? Every eye shall see him. Not just one man, not two, not three, not four, not that woman, not that child. Everybody, right? Every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so, amen. So who all pierced him, right? Which is these nations, Edomites, right? And also Israel, hey, they're going to see him, right? And in Isaiah 9:1, hey, it said he's going to come, right, in a swift cloud. Those are the chariots. He's coming in a chariot, man. Let's get that, right? Let's get that. Psalms 104. All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 104, verse 3. It says, who layeth the beams of his chambers, and the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. It said, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariots, man. So what is that cloud, or what the world like to say, a UFO, man? Yahushua is coming in a UFO. This is the burden of America. This is the burden of Egypt. This is the fall of America. As it's falling right now, because Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, right? So it says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, right? And the reason why he's coming is to save his elect. We still in captivity. Jake think that we're not in captivity. Jake think that slavery is over. And if you think that slavery is over, they got you where they want. That's where they want you at. That's where that's where they want you mentally. Right? So a lot of brothers can hear that. Right? That's where they want you. That's where they want you mentally, man. You're mentally destroyed. Let's get that. Deuteronomy 28. Right? Deuteronomy 28 and verse 48. It says, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Right? And you being destroyed is thinking slavery is over with. That we not in this day in our captivity. Right? That we not paying taxes. Or you think that taxes is a way of life. That's madness. You think taxes is a way of life. Yeah, we got to do it, man. This, as a man, you got to pay your taxes. No, brother. No. If you're paying taxes, you a slave, brother. Everything that you possess, everything that you own goes back to Esau. And everything that you want, you have to get it from Esau. We're still in slavery. Yahushua is not coming back to bring peace. There was no peace when he was there. What makes you think it's peace now? It's worse now, and it's going to continue to get worse, right? Let's get that. Baruch chapter 3 and verse 8. And the brothers got a precept, you know, Bring that up. Right? It's the Baruch chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity. Right? We are yet this day in our captivity. From us breaking the commandments, right? Now we have to serve our enemies, man. Right? This what happened when we was in Egypt, Babylon, right? Assyria, Babylon, the Medo-Persian Empire, right? The Grecians, Rome. You got other captivities in between those, right? But we are yet this day in our captivity, man, because we didn't want to serve Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. But the Lord is going to save that remnant, right? That remnant, just so we be able to get that true rest, man. Right? So we can get out of that mental state that Jake don't think he knows he in. Right? It says, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach, a curse, and to be subject to payments. We're subject to payments, man. Everything that you own, you subject to it. You should be subject to the Most High. Everything that you get, the Most High blessed you with, and you should give him that first fruits, your first increase, man. Give him that lamb that was born, right? Wait till the 8th day so you can offer it to the Lord, seasoned with salt, right? But everything you get, you giving it up to who? The so-called white man, right? And to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God. So we are yet this day in our captivity, man, right? The Lord brought us back into Egypt again, right? And now Yahweh Shai is going to come back to spiritual Egypt, right? And save us with a swift cloud, a beautiful entrance that no other man can even do. Because you know, Jake like to come out all fly and he want to be the last one in the party. He want to be the last one in events. He got the freshest clothes on, maybe some buffs, right? Maybe a hat. However, Jake want to wear, right? A nice car, truck, whatever he want to pull up in. Hey, that's the Lord is going to come like that on a higher level to save his people, right? But if brother got a precept, y'all can bring it up.
I got a precept, right? Like the brother was saying, right? This place is going to be destroyed, right? And this place is waxing worse each and every day, right? This place is falling, right? This is Revelation chapter 18 and verse 2. It reads, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and a hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Right? So this place is defiled. Right? This place is filled with madness. It's polluted with idols, polluted with homosexuality, right? With unjust laws. And we're still oppressed, like the brother was saying, to this very day. Right? I'm going to drop down to verse 4. It says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Right? Our people, we got to come out of this place, right? Because this place will be destroyed. Right? It says, and that ye receive not of her plagues, because this place is going to be destroyed, and the Most High is going to send plagues, just like he did back in ancient Egypt. Right? The Lord, he sent plague after plague after plague until the Lord killed and smit the firstborn. Right? So we see that that's going to happen again in America, which is spiritually known as Egypt and Sodom. Right? We know in Genesis 19 that Sodom was destroyed with fire. Right? So again, America is going to be destroyed with fire. Right? Let's get Revelations chapter 11 and verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. Right? So we know once this place is destroyed, we know that that light is going to be beamed up. Right? And like the brother brought out the precept, right? The cloud is a chariots. Right? And it says, and their enemies beheld them. Right? So everyone is going to see this. This is going to be mainstream. Right? Everyone is going to see the salvation of the elect, but also the downfall of America. right? Because we do know that it says that the smoke of their torment ascended up, right? So everyone is going to see this entire place destroyed, right? And I want to bring out a point, right? Right. Get this precept. So I can bear with me. Right. If a brother got a precept, right, brother can bring it out. It's like I got it. Right. This is Revelation chapter 17, right, in verse 16. It says, "Thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate, and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire." Right. So this place is ultimately going to be destroyed by fire. Right. And it's fitting, even when you read the law, you know that the daughters of the Levites, if they played the whore, that they were supposed to be burnt with fire. So it makes sense for America to be burnt with fire if America is like into that whore. Right? It says again, "Thou sawest upon a beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate, and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire." Right? So this whore, Babylon the Great, right, is going to be destroyed with fire. Right, and this place is called the mother of all harlots. Right, that's chapter 17. Right, so brothers got it.
Yeah, man. Hey, when the brothers from our wall was talking about the paying the tributes and paying the taxes, it reminded me, hey, even Christ was subject to paying taxes. Right, like just think about that. You know, we know that it say, let me get this precept right quick. Let me get this in John chapter 15. Right. It's John chapter 15 and verse 19. It says, if ye were of the world, well, let's start at verse 18. John 15 and 18. If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hate you. If you are of the world will love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hated you. Remember the words that I said unto you. The servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. So the Lord told us a long time ago, everything that they did to me, y'all not better than me. They're going to do it to y'all too. Right? Now let's get that account of him having to pay the same tax. Man, if he was alive today, he'll get that same, he'll get his W-2s in the mail just like us. And he got into, what is it, like April 15th, something, April 10th. And he had to have them taxes filed, or the IRS gonna come see about him. It was the same thing back then. Right, let's get that in Matthew chapter 17. Right, this Matthew chapter 17 in verse number 24. And when they were come to Capernaum, they that received tribute money came to Peter and said, doth not your master pay tribute? So the man who came to see about that tax money, they went to one of Yahushua, one of his day ones. It was like, hey, what's up with that tax money? You know, we need that. You know, imagine, you know, when they call from the 800 numbers, they try to call from the numbers you don't recognize because you ain't picking up from the first number. Brothers know what I'm talking about. The people who watching this video, I know what I'm talking about, right? When they call you, hey, can you just put, you know, a certain amount down, or hi, we're calling from such and such credit company, and y'all know how it is. See, back then they didn't have a phone, so they had to kind of pull up on you in person. But these are the same things that was happening back then that's happening to us now. Just think, the government taking 20, 30, 40% of your check every week. So out of your 40 hours, you telling me that they worked 16 of your hours with you? They worked 12 of your hours with you to be taking that much money? Just imagine if you can see on your paycheck at work what your gross pay is before they take the taxes out. Imagine if they just gave you all your money like you deserve. What you could be able to do for your family with the prices, everything now. But this is America. Like the brother said a second ago, it's the mother of all harlots. Right? And the thing about a whore, or the thing about a whoremonger, is that they can never get enough. That's the whole point. You have never met a hoe that said, okay, that's enough for me. I'm chilling now. And then they just sat back and relaxed. You ain't never met a Jake who was like, hey, I'm outside, you know, where the 304 is at. And he was just, you know, he just really sat back and, because we see what happened when they try to fake it with the pastors and all that. It never worked. Eventually some come out, oh, they messing with this dude's wife. You know, these pastors getting caught doing God knows what, because they can only fake it for so long. But this is America, right? So let me get one more precept. And y'all know I gotta get Cyrac. You had to know it was coming, right? We gotta make sure we getting Cyrac. Hey, can you grab Cyrac for me right quick? Let me get Cyrac chapter 23 and verse 17.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 23, verse 17. All bread is sweet to a whoremonger. He will not leave off till he die.
You read the last part one more time.
It says, all bread is sweet to a whoremonger. He will not leave off till he die.
I mean, is that not America? When has America ever said, you know what, we have conquered enough countries? We have put tariffs. Oh, when does Donald Trump say, you know what, that's enough tariffs? I'm cool. I'm gonna sit back and relax. Anybody who been keeping track of it, man, he going hard. He said after this little pause on the tariffs that he put on them now, he said he don't think it's ever gonna be another pause on them. He said he don't plan on giving no more leniency after this. So anybody who's been paying attention to the stock market, because it affects you whether you pay attention to it or not, they've been going up and down all over the place. People panicking. The housing market shot. Don't nobody got enough money to buy a house. America is falling as we know it. But see, the thing is, they're good at distracting us with all these different things. They got the social media is one of the greatest distractions on the planet. I would say it's number one person. I don't know what you say. What y'all say? What you say, Good One? What you say? But social media is a different type of beast, bro. It'll have you watching the damn playoff scores whole time. Halfway across the world, Israel done bombed the city somewhere. You know, countless numbers of people lost, but you won't even know because you watching Aaron Gordon dunk. You watching him catch alley-oops, do 360 windmills off the backboard. Whole time, Donald Trump is putting tariffs on something that might affect your food on the shelves in the next 2-3 weeks. You might not be able to get none off the shelf if it go right. Imagine you pull up to pick, over here it's called pick and save. Imagine you pull up to Walmart. I know everybody at Walmart, I'm gonna use that. Imagine you pull up to Walmart, man, ain't no cereal. Ain't no formula. For the ladies, imagine you pull up, ain't no feminine products for you. You know? Because the supply chain is getting messed up, all the tariffs and all this other stuff messing it. So we got to really pay attention to these things. But brothers got it.
We got to pay attention to these things, man. If not, he cometh as a thief in the night. He come as like a thief in the night, and it's going to be too late, right? So we're going to go to Isaiah chapter 2, Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. It reads, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom, right? So, hey, what's going on right now? It's kingdom against kingdom right now. You got Esau fighting against his own people. That's going on right now, man. Right? It says, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, man. Let's get Second Esdras, right? Second Esdras chapter 6, verse 24. Right? It's Second Esdras chapter 6, verse 24. It says, at that time shall friends fight against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. Right? The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Right? It says, at that time shall friends fight against one another. That's going to be civil war going on, man. There's going to be a lot going on while other people trying to find out what's going on. But if you paying attention and watch, hey, You won't get caught out there, right? So, and the Egyptians are the so-called white man. So obviously you see them, they bombing each other, man. They sending each other's threats. They sending each other's threats. Those are the gang members. Those are the gangbangers. Those the GDs and the vice lords, man. Those the ones that's the true gangbangers, man. Instead of damn guns, they got missiles, man. They got big. What they who said that? I think it was the Elamites. They talking about they had 130 missiles or something like that. That's crazy, man. You got 130 missiles. I want to know how long that took to make that. Hey, but they had the patience to do that, man. Right? So you're gonna have European Union nations going against each other, as we see today. You see that today, right? Man, you got Ezra seeing this. You also have, Yahweh Shah saying it himself. Let's go to Matthew 24. Matthew 24, verse 7. Right? This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 7. It says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom." Right? And Yahweh Shah said this himself. This is a prophecy of, 70 AD, the Roman Jewish War, right? And it's also doublefold because it's going to happen again. It's happening now, right? It says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. And all these are the beginning of sorrows." This is we in the beginning of sorrows right now. We in the beginning of sorrows, man. Right? There's no rumors of wars. When you jump up to 6, it says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars." We hearing of wars right now. It's war right now. World War III is right now. It's happening across America. It's coming to America near you. It's coming soon. They literally have a damn doomsday clock. It's coming, man. They don't know the time, but the Lord knows the time. He know when to snap his fingers. Next thing you know, all hell is breaking loose. Right? Famine. What? Civil war. Damn. Just all type of bloodshed, man. Hey, from your own people and these other nations. Right? So we just read what Yahweh Shah said, and we read that in Isaiah. You also read it in Esdras, right? Esdras seen these things, man. And we also seeing it with our own eyes. Let's get that. Matthew 13. It's Matthew chapter 13, verse 16. It says, "But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear." And we hearing about these things. We actually seeing it happen. Our forefathers didn't get to see it. All they saw was visions. Imagine you keep having dreams, you in the kingdom. This is what that. Hey, they was in a second, third, fourth captivity, man. Having visits of Yahweh Shah coming back, seeing all hell breaking loose, chariots picking up the elect, chariots picking up the 1/3, seeing a famine and all of the destruction happening to Babylon. America, seeing all these things happen, all they're seeing is vision. They're like, man, when is gonna be? You know what I'm saying? When is it gonna happen? It says, "But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and blessed are your ears, for they hear." It says, "For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which you see." If you're not desired to see these things, reading the scriptures and realizing that it's coming to life, realizing that the things that you read are actually happening, and the things that you read are actually going to happen, you should be happy about that. Who wants to wake up in the morning and want to go to work? You got brothers waking up at 2, 3. Then you got brothers got night shift. They got to sleep while the sun is up. They got to close their blinds so they be able to sleep. Don't nobody want to deal with that for the rest of their life, man. The Lord is literally telling you there's more to life. I have something set up for you. The kingdom already prepared. Watch. So you should be happy these things happen. You should be desired to see the things that is coming, that the Lord ordained since the foundation of the earth. Right? It says that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see and have not seen them, right? And to hear those things which ye hear and have not heard them. So they have not seen them, they have not heard them, right? All they see was visions and had to write it down what the Lord said to them, what the Lord showed them. But we get to see, man, right? We get to see. All praise to the Most High, right? So we're gonna jump down to verse 3. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 3. Everybody's got a precept, right? So Isaiah chapter 19, verse 3, it says, the spirit of Egypt shall fall in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. So we know that America is very high on witchcraft, just like any other kingdoms, the Egyptians, Babylon, right? All they do is serve other gods. Why Yahushua is when Yahushua cracked the sky, everybody's going to war and they see these things happening, they're gonna go to the other gods, their idols, the charmers and the wizards. Hey, they did this in Egypt, man. Let's bring that out. Exodus chapter 7. They was trying to copy the plagues of the Lord, which they was able to do to a certain extent, but hell mixed with fire, absolutely not. The boils, they couldn't even touch them at that point. You don't have spiritual powers to have somebody get a boil. That's only for the Lord to do those things, right? This Exodus chapter 7, right? In verse 10, it says, and Moses and Aaron went unto Pharaoh, and they did so as the Lord had commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh and before his servants, and it became a serpent. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers, now the magicians of Egypt. They also did in like manner with their enchantments. This is what America's gonna do. They so high on witchcraft, man. Damn palm readings and Egypt was doing this in the ancient world, man. And all the other kingdoms, man. They was high on witchcraft and sorcery and charmers and necromancers and things of that manner. They're gonna try to do that to the Lord. And they so destroyed the fact that the Lord created good and evil. He created all these things. What makes you think that he can't stop you from having it to even work in the first? It won't work in the first place. He created it, right? So they're gonna do these things, man. You got a precept? You go ahead. Out.
This is Isaiah chapter 47. I'll start at verse 10. Right? It reads, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. Right? So like the brother was going into, they try to come up with their own ways to stop the Lord plagues from destroying them, and their own wisdom to save them from the destruction that's coming upon them. Right? It says, therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt know. It's like it says, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Right? And America is prideful. Right? This place, you think the men here think that this place is gonna fall? You think Donald Trump think this place is gonna be destroyed? Right? No, they think this place is going to endure forever. They think their houses and their names are going to endure forever. Right? So they trust in their wisdom, their sorceries, right? Their astrologers to be able to help them observe the times and to prepare for the destruction that's coming. It reads, verse 12, stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. Right? And we know that they're not going to prevail because it was already written that America, aka Babylon, was going to be destroyed. So no matter what they know, no matter what type of plans they try to conjure up behind the scenes, they cannot stop these plagues from hitting the earth. It reads, verse 13, thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators Stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. And America is big on that. They're big on horoscopes. They're big on astrology, right? And these different signs of the heavens. It reads, behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Right? It reads, verse 15, thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter, none shall save thee. Right? So there's going to be no escaping these judgments that's coming to America. Again, like the brother brought out, right? Nothing they do will save them from the destruction that's coming, right? This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, it's like 9 and verse 6. It reads, for though a man be never so perfect among the children of men, yet if thy wisdom be not with them, he shall be nothing regarded. Right? So if they don't have these prophecies, they don't know the law, statutes, commandments. They don't know how to prepare themselves for salvation. And we know salvation is not for them. Right? We know that their end is coming, and it's coming immediately. And it's coming very, very soon. So if like the scripture said, if Most High's knowledge is not with them, if his wisdom is not with them, they shall be nothing regarded. So everything that they know on the left hand side, right, is nothing regarded. Right? Brothers got it. It's like, yeah.
Khan, you can keep going if you want to, Shema Wall.
Con. Yeah, that was a mighty precept, man. Nothing is going to save them from this destruction to come. It's destined to happen. I mean, whatever the Lord says, it goes. So you can't escape. Right? Hey, let me get this real quick. All right. I believe that should be Jeremiah 30. If I'm not mistaken. Actually, that's Isaiah 30. Isaiah 30. All right. Isaiah 30 and verse 1. It says, woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, right? To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt, right? And you got Jake trusting the shadow of Egypt, man. Trust in Egypt, man. So you're gonna have Jake trying to they do that now. They go through problems, they go right to sorcery, they go right to witchcraft, charging up their stones and putting on necklaces and kissing it and waking up in the morning. That's off. So that's that same spirit, man. So you're gonna have Jake doing it as well, right? So if you would crack the sky and everyone will see, yeah, come on. Everybody gonna see Yahweh Shai, man. You gonna hear that.
Add to that, right? It's Isaiah 31. It says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because there are many. Right? So like the brother was bringing out, right? It's woe to those men who trust in the system, right? In America, right? In the ways of this life, to cure them from their problems, to relieve them of their stress, right? To escape their problems again, right? It says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because there are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord, right? And our people, they don't seek the Lord, right? Again, like the brother was going into, they seek their own remedies, right? They seek what they used to, what they've been taught, right? But we know that the Lord only will save, right? There's only salvation in the Lord and none else, right? So our people got to come back to seeking the Lord, right? It's more on that, but the brother's got a precept where he can bring it out.
Khan, I get in there. But first off, Shalom, Azza. You know, the brother be showing his love, all praises. Y'all be tuning in every Wednesday, right? But hey, man, like we keep going into, there's no saving America. And so, look, there's not one empire in history that stood forever, right? And if I'm not mistaken, brother, correct me if I'm wrong. The average time of an empire is like 250 years, something like that. I mean, America is at like what, 248, 240, 249. So I mean, we what more do you want us to say? They getting cut by their own sword. That's their own information. Google will tell you something like that. So at some point, we got to think just logically. As a people, we have to sit back and think this can't last forever. Like, we can't be at the bottom forever. We can't just keep, it just this generation after generation in the hood. They can't be what the Most High got for us for the rest of our existence, right? So it's something that we have to actually do, and the Most High been telling us this since the book of Revelation. I'm gonna get this. It's Revelation chapter 18 and verse number 4. It says, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities." So the Most High not going to forget what these people did. He's not going to forget anything that America was involved in. Anything America decided that, you got things like the Tuskegee, the syphilis experiment, where they was giving our people syphilis on purpose. The Most High not going to forget that they did stuff like that. Feeding our babies to you got a precept, go ahead.
No, Khan. I looked up. It said the average lifespan. It says research indicates the civilizations, including kingdoms, tend to have an average lifespan of around 340 years.
Yeah. Okay, right.
Yeah.
So we was somewhere close, right? When you look up numbers, you'll get a whole bunch of things, right? But hey, a few hundred years and you out of there. What's a few hundred years to, the 1,000 years of bondage that these heathen got coming to them? I mean, what's that? We talking about 400 years all the time for our people. 400 years this, 400 years that. And not to say it's not relevant, but do you know what they got coming to them? That's why we talking about the fall of America. Do you know what happens after America falls? In the book of Daniel, he was talking about the saints of the Most High taking the kingdom. That's part of taking the kingdom. This place got to fall. This is the greatest kingdom of all time. Think about that. In terms of age, America is like a teenager compared to this thing. America is new. France been around forever. Russia been around forever. I mean, you can read the literal names of Ethiopia and Egypt and all of these other nations who are literally named in the Bible. They've been around so long. But America was not named by name. But they spoke about it in code. Babylon, the great whore, the mother of all harlots, right? And he who had ears to hear, let him hear. So this place has to go. But the thing is, like I said in the verse, come out of her, my people. We got to come out, including us. Man, we've been here so long. If you read the book of Exodus, if you really read it realistically, when they was talking about, man, what if we just stayed in Egypt? Oh man, I missed that food. What they said, they missed the fish or something that was back. Something they was talking about. That's us. This thing. Sometimes us who in the truth. If you on a video, if you watching this, and including us both brothers that's making the video, we know how sometimes you get wary. Sometimes that human part come up out of you. You might complain. You might catch yourself, or you might not. But you might be complaining like, "Dang, gotta go to work." With this thing, hey, it's a homeless person out here, man. They wish they had to go to work. So even though we in this captivity, we got to find a way to keep ourselves going because this ain't our rest. We ain't going to be here forever. But we got to keep going. We can't fall back into them old things. And it get hard. Trust me. If anybody know, I know. It get hard when you trying to keep going. You trying to stay on fire. And just think, you probably the only one in your household who really in the truth. Probably the only one in your family who really in the truth. Ain't like you can go to your mama and your auntie and them and your big sister. They don't understand what you're going through. They don't understand that America is falling. They still making plans for 20 and 30. Oh, they on the phone, they homegirls. Hey, for our 40th, we gonna be doing this. Girl, when I turned 35, and that's 15 years from now, 12 years from now. They don't know what's going on. They don't see what's really going on. Right? So the fall of America is here. And with us being those who are informed in this information, hey, we got to be on point. That's why we call it the Watchman for Israel. But you got to.
That's right, man. That is right. Hey, they gonna call other spirits when Yahweh shall return. Jake gonna be doing that too, because he don't know the Lord.
And that's,
No, you go ahead.
no, I was just letting you know that was all I had.
Oh, that's okay, Con.
So you see it. So you got it.
No, Con, all praises. But yeah, so hey, they gonna be calling other spirits, man. All right, let's get one more of that. Let's get Genesis chapter 41, verse 8. It says, and it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, right? 8, and Esau, his spirit is troubled right now, man. And that day, if it ain't now, it will be. When Yahweh shall crack the sky, his spirit is going to be troubled, right? Jake's spirit is going to be troubled because he leans upon America so bad. He wants this kingdom to last so bad. He think nothing is going to happen to America. He think that, oh, we ain't gonna go to war. They just talking. Brother, people are getting bombed to death. People getting split in half and power outages and things of that matter. All this stuff is going on. You think nothing is gonna happen? You think just because they got tanks and they so-called well ordered that they're gonna be that nothing is gonna happen? Like they're gonna win every war that they get into? Absolutely not. Right? They're gonna be troubled, man. And when they're troubled, what they're gonna do? It says, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt and all the wise men thereof. This is literally in their spirit. They do everything. They do all the kingdoms that ruled. America has every bit of them. They serve the same idols, the same God. They serve every God that's on the earth. And if you fall in the beast, you do the same exact thing. Whatever the beast follow, that's who you follow. Right? It's madness. Right? So this Isaiah chapter 19, verse 4. It says, in the Egyptians, like you, will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord. And that cruel Lord is Yahweh Shah, man. He's going to be cruel to America. He's going to be cruel to these other nations. And to Israel that didn't want to serve him. Right? And a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts. Right? And it said a fierce king. The Lord is coming with fierce, man. He's coming with power, anger, right? To those that crucified him and his sheep, his brothers and sisters, his children, man. It says, in the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord. He's going to give it right to Yahweh Shah. When the Lord say it's time, he's just giving it to him freely, right? Into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts. Right? And the water shall fail from the sea, and the river shall be washed and dried up. And they shall turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of defense shall be emptied and dried up. The reeds and flags shall wither. Right? So, hey, this is speaking about the destruction of Yahweh Shah, man. Because, you know, the Egyptians, they rely on the Nile River. Right? So it's going into their economy is going to crash, as you see what's going on right now. Because the Egyptians, they depend on the Nile River. When the Lord sent the plague, right? When the Lord put the Nile River turned it into blood, hey, they couldn't use that no more. That was their source, man. That was their currency, right? Let's get that. Second Esdras. Let's get second Esdras. So the Lord is bringing straight destruction to Babylon, man, to America, right? To spiritual Egypt. That's literally going on right now. And it's crazy because I remember, I believe that was yesterday. I went to Walmart. I went to dang on Walmart and there was nothing on the shelves. I seen nothing on the shelf. And I seen other people, a brother and some heathens putting cans on the shelf. I'm like, y'all work here? They like, nah. I'm like, then I'm thinking like, why are you, if you don't work here, why are you putting cans on the shelf? You know, I'm kind of confounded. If any brother know or sister, let me know. Because I'm confounded about that. But it was nothing on the shelves. I mean, it was clear. Right? All praise to the Most High. So let's go to second Esdras. Right? Jake, they not gonna hide your favorite juice. No, it's not gonna be your favorite juice no more. And your Capri Suns and your favorite chips, all that's gonna go.
Julio.
Don, right? The Don Julio and
Dog, and you know,
it ain't gonna be none of that no more. Home run in. Hey, Jake still be cracking open the home run in, man, the frozen pizza. It ain't gonna be none of that. Right? This second Esdras chapter 6 and verse 22. It reads, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Right? It says, suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. Right? So it's liking the economy to sowing, right? So as the economy is for Egypt is waters, right? Because it said, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And we starting to see it, shelves being empty, food is corrupted, is damn near gotta toss it out. They may not even toss it out, they'll try to feed it to you, right? But hey, man. When I tell you they was putting cans, I don't know where they get it from. I should have asked, but I was just confounded. I didn't know what else to say. You know, they don't, I'm asking, you work here? No. And they just putting cans on the shelves. Like, who, first of all, who even want those anyway? Hey, but when all hell break loose and that famine actually hit, they might be trying to grab those, right? So it's liking the economy to sowing, as in Egypt is liking the economy to the Nile River, in which that's what they go to. Right? What the brother say, hey, trucker, I know him been off all week. The shipping center said, ain't no work. See that? Ain't no work. The Lord is coming, man. And if you hate working, you know you a slave, and you will be happy about it. Right? What he say? He said they told him they'll let him know if things get worse. What? They'll let him know if things get worse. I'm already ain't working, ain't no work. You gonna let me know if things get worse? I don't want to find that out. All praise to the Most High. Don't you telling me ain't no work at my job? Then you gonna call me when it's worse, brother? That's crazy, man. But hey, all praise to the Most High. The Lord is doing that, man. And first of all, you should be happy. You shouldn't be leaning on America to feed you, right? You shouldn't be leaning on a white man to give you shelter and water and clothing, right? That's madness. Right? So the Lord is right destroying the Nile River, which the economy that he's bringing out. Let's read that again. Right? It says, and the water shall fail from the sea, and the river shall be wasted and dried up. All these storehouses, Walmarts and Aldi's and the thrift store, food pantries and all these other places, they're gonna be dried up, man. It's gonna be nothing, right? It says, and they shall turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of defense shall be empty and dried up. The reeds and flags shall wither, right? So let's go to Exodus, not Exodus, Ecclesiastes chapter 12. So, hey, that's a famine, man. It ain't gonna be no bread, no water. It ain't gonna be none of that. And let's see how Jake react. Let's see how Eve react, right? This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 3. It reads, in a day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. and those that look out of the windows be darkened. It says the keeper of the house shall tremble, and the strong man shall bow themselves, and the grounders, meaning employees, right, shall cease because they are few. As you see, the brother just brought out, saying it ain't no more work. Told the brother ain't no more work. It's slowly happening. Amazon laying off workers, right? I remember when I was staying in Milwaukee, one of the temps I was working at, they said it ain't no work, man. We'll call you when it's work. We'll call you if another job has work. And this was 2023, so-called 2023, man, in the winter or January, something around there. Yeah, or 24, something like that. Talking about it ain't no more work. It's madness, man. It said because they are few, right? And those that look out of the windows be darkened, right? And a door shall be shut in the streets, and when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. That means there's gonna be a complete shutdown in America. It's gonna be straight desolate, man. Like I Am Legend. It's gonna look exactly like that. Nothing. Gonna be nothing but mannequins. That's how you gonna see. All you're gonna see is mannequins. You ain't gonna see no clothes. You ain't gonna see no food. You ain't gonna see no hair products, lotion. You ain't finna see none of that. It's gonna be nothing but shelves, carts, and damn, not even bags, man. You ain't even gonna see bags, man. You're gonna see nothing. If you do see a bag, it's empty. It's gonna be empty. You're gonna see because people gonna be rampaging trying to find food and it's gonna be gone, right? So it's talking about a complete shutdown, right? And the keepers, right? That keepers that it's talking about is the military, right? The Air Force, right? All that is gonna cease, man. All that is gonna be over with, right? Let's go, Revelation chapter 18. Hey, and this is a beautiful thing going through the precepts. It's a beautiful thing. Right? He said you're gonna lose man when they can't party on Friday night. Yeah. But you know what's crazy about that is Jake gonna try to find a way. He gonna try to find a way, man. Not to be long-winded. In the world, I had a dream that Yahweh Shah was coming. Obviously, I didn't know through the spirit. But while my family, they were just partying. I was happy too for a bit. I'm happy, boom, boom, boom. But suddenly, like some reason I stopped because I feel like something is coming. Right? I look out the window, it's nothing but just damn destruction. Buildings messed up and the street dirty and nobody outside. It's all jammed up when my family is just so happy and drinking. Jake gonna find a way, man. Because he not working, he not doing nothing. He may have certain type of food, for him at that time. But when this days go by, damn, what can we do? Because he don't know how to fish. He don't know how to start a fire. He don't know how to do none of those things. Now his food is running out. Hey, now next thing you know, he gonna start eating his own family. Hey, those days are coming, man. Those days are coming. This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 10, right? It says, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, right, Salakia? Alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come, right? And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore, right? So all the money you have, Bank of America, Chase, and Wells Fargo, I believe they shut that down, if I'm not mistaken. It's a lot of banks they shut down. Speaking of that, all right. Well, all the Wells Fargo's, Bank of America, the Chases, and you got a lot of it's other banks. You know them. Esau's, Currency, whatever, Chases, all those gonna be gone, right? Yeah, Chime, yeah, Cash App, all that, Cash App, PayPal, all these files and stuff like that is gonna be gone, wiped out. The Lord is wiping it out, right? All praise to the Most High, right? For the sake of time, right? We're gonna go to Isaiah chapter 19, verse 8, right? So the Lord is bringing destruction on this place. The Lord is coming back to save his people, the people that actually want to serve him, to save the remnant. Because the remnant is the one who's going to keep the commandments, right? And destroy those who lean upon Babylon, right? So this Isaiah chapter 19, verse 8, it says, the fishers also shall mourn, and all they that cast angle into the brook shall lament, and they that spread nets upon the water shall languish. Moreover, they that work in the fine flax and they that weave network shall be confounded, right? So you got, these are the stockbreakers, right? The stockbreakers and real estate, all the high paying jobs in America, right? Which is the fishers. Those are the fishers. The fishers shall mourn. Hey, you got somebody right now doing, especially the people who do credit. I know somebody that makes them at 7 figures right now. When all that go out, the window, what you gonna do? Who you gonna call upon? So all these high paying jobs and these high business owners, right? The fine flax, the top fashion, the top fashion corporations, the Gucci, Prada, and Pelly jackets, to be making those, and Nike, and all these damn Calvin, you got damn Tom Ford, all these name brands, the top fashion corporations, hey, it's gonna get destroyed. The Ancient Network clothings and the baskets, the people that deal with clothing and stuff like that, all that is getting destroyed, man. They're gonna lament, they're gonna cry, right? They're gonna cry very hard. Verse 10, and they shall be broken in the purposes thereof, and the purpose thereof, and all that make suluses, like for the pronunciation, and ponds for fish, right? Meaning they're going to continue to try to build their businesses, but the Lord is going to smack it down. It's like a damn kid. He shoot a jump shot and you just, nah, give me that, right? That's what the Lord going to do. Jake, God forbid, man. Jake better not be still trying to sell while all hell breaking loose, man. Hey, I got this, you know what I'm saying? I got two. I got this KD, whole time it's nothing but grass in there, and he trying to deceive you because it's down bad in America, man. That's madness, right? That's madness, right? Verse 11, right? Surely the princes of Zoan are fools. The counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh is become brutish. How say ye unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise, the son of ancient kings? So the Lord is talking crazy to him. You say you wise, you telling you got everything covered, but you really don't. What's going on, right? Let me know what's going on, right? So the Prince of Zoan is your top politicians and every world leader, right? Of Zoan, which is in the ancient world, you have that now, right? The advisors, the counselors, yeah. So Zoan is like a modern day like DC. DC is the modern day Zoan, if I should say, right? So, hey, it said the counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh has become brutish. The Lord called them fools, man. They nothing but fools, right? Verse 12, it says, where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know what the Lord of hosts have purpose upon Egypt. So the Lord is like, hey, man, where they at? What's going on? Because when all hell breaking loose, all the counsel that they say, all the technology and the sorcery, all the things that they have said is coming to naught. Where you at now? They're gonna scatter. They're gonna panic. They're gonna tremble. I don't know what else to do. The Israelites are too powerful. The Lord is too powerful. The Lord is in control of everything, right? It says the princes of Zoan are become fools. The princes of North are deceived. They have also seduced Egypt, even they that are the stay of the tribes thereof, right? So all the elites, they have seduced Egypt, meaning that they saying things are okay, they got everything covered. You deceiving the people, making it seem like everything is all right. They're safe and sound. Go back in the house. We'll let you know what's gonna happen. They sending alarms through the phone and this and that. You know, they're in quarantine, and then next thing you know, you come back out, put on a mask, all this stuff. You deceiving the people, right? And all you doing is causing them to get destroyed even more. But you got to
Right, like the brother was saying, right, all the wisdom, right, that these politicians have, right, these top men, the elite, right, it'll be brought low. Right, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 20. It reads, "Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world? Has not God made foolish the wisdom of this world?" Right, so everything that they trust in, their military power, right, tactical warfare, right, you're gonna have these men. They're gonna try to escape and fight against the Lord. Right, they building underground bunkers. Right, they think they can outwit the Most High. But it reads, "For after that, in the wisdom of God, the world by wisdom knew not God." Right, so the scientists, right, these philosophers, right, they think that they understand the Most High. Right, even with the wisdom they have, they still wrestle with the scripture. It reads, "It pleased God by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe." Right, and what we do, it seems foolish to these men. Right, we out on the highways and byways, we trying to save our people. Right, this world, they esteem us as nothing. But the wisdom that they have on the left hand side, they extol to the heights, to the clouds. Right, it's a precept that I have brought out. Right, I'll grab it again. It's Sirach. Right, this is Sirach. I believe it's chapter 11. Slakia. Chapter 11. It's like chapter 13. Right, and I'll start at verse 23. "When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue. And look, what he said, they extol it to the clouds." Right, so they hype up these men. They take these words in consideration, and they believe that whatever they say will come to pass. Right, they extol the so-called white man. Right, these politicians. Right, these different policies that they write out. Right, and they believe in these things. Right, but what the brother read in Isaiah chapter 19, right, they seduce the people. Right, and a lot of people, they're starting to catch on to Esau's lies. Right, the economy is going to be okay, everything's going to be good. Right, the stock market is going to bounce back. Right, and now the people are starting to rebel. They're going to start to rebel against the powers of this world. Right, it's a precept that they should not regard their king. I don't know if brothers brought that out already. Right, but hey, a lot of these people, they're going to rebel against the orders of the society. They're not going to really take heed to these laws because they see that they're seducing the people and they're manipulating them. Right, but brothers got it.
God, all praise to the Most High. That's right. Manipulating them, man. All the decisions that they make is going to be for destruction. you know, and you got Trump thinking he's doing something, and you see what's going on right now, right? But for the sake of time, bring out a couple precepts out. Most I will, and we'll be able to finish it off next week. But we're gonna keep going through the spirit, right? So that princes of Zoan, they are become fools, and the princes of Noth are deceived, right? So, you know, DC, not DC, but Noth, right? Because DC is the modern day Zoan, and then you got, because Shalakia, if I said that right. Yeah, I did. All praise to the Most High. So DC is the modern day Zoan, the princes, the elect leaders, and the counselors and stuff in that manner. Right? And they're gonna be deceived. So everything that they're gonna cast forth is gonna be for destruction. Right? Verse 14, it says, the Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggering in his vomit. You see, verse 14, so like verse 14 just brought it out. It said, the Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, right? So, hey, they gonna be damn deceiving people. While you got Jake listening to him and hearkening to him, and other nations listening to him, just drunk. Airing every work that they do, every decree that they set forth is gonna cause them to fall even more. They just digging themselves in a hole. And this is what's going on right now. The Lord is destroying this place, right? Let's get one more precept. Verse 15, right? It says, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. It's going to be no work. No, you looking for a job. No, you trying to start a business. None of that. It's no Indeed, right? It's no Craigslist. It's none of those things. Facebook Market, people selling stuff. It's gonna be none of those things. No Ubers, no Lyfts, no moving companies, no waitress, right? No butlers. It ain't gonna be none of that, right? There's gonna be no work for Egypt, no work for America, right? Let's get that. Job chapter 18. Last precept. Job chapter 18. Job chapter 18, verse 5. Right? It says, yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. The step of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. The Lord let you know himself, that perverse spirit, how the elect, Zoan and Noth, which is the elect leaders, all the counsel that they do is going to just cast them down, right? Their light is going to get put out. Their light is not of the commandments. The wickedness, they have a light as well. A light that's very deceitful, right? But I ain't got nothing else to let the brother, unless the brother do, most I will, and we continue this next week, right? This is something that you should be desired to know, not even desired to know, but just be happy about, because we literally seeing these things happen, right? Speedily. The Lord got different type of speed happening, slow down and speed it up. The days are increasing. We already damn near in the summertime. This year already almost over, So, hey, most are willing. This was edifying, Lord willing, we could do this next week, right? Want to give all honor and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Amashah, Kwalam, Yahweh Shah, Kwam Yashrela, Shalom.
Shalom.